Okay, thanks for tuning back into Migmatis Golf. This is a very important video. This is a follow-up from my last video, which got a decent amount of views, but a couple of comments in there that were, let's say, borderline rude, got me thinking. And it got me thinking about explaining the difference between the pressures on the shaft in transition and at impact. And I think there was a bit of confusion there, but it very nicely led me on to thinking about this video. This is a 3-step plan, foolproof 3-step plan. And I say 3 steps because anything more than that, you all switch off and you click out of the video. So I got to make it simples for you lot in it. 3-step plan to a good release for flippers, okay? I don't know what percentage, but a large percentage of golfers are flippers. Why? Because their trail hand is their dominant hand. It is much stronger than their lead hand, and it's much better coordinated. Therefore, it wants to take over and it wants to square the club face. The club face is not squared like this, it's squared like this. It's more of a twist than a throw, and that is a very difficult thing to get your head around. Okay, most golfers do this, we want to do that. But if we've been doing this for 20 years, how do we fix that? Well, we do it in 3 steps, my friends. Step 1. Step 1, we need to realize that this hand is much stronger than this hand. Trail hand for right-handed, right hand for a right-handed golfer, much stronger than left-handed. Left hand for a right-handed golfer. That was a mouthful. So we need to, 1, strengthen the left hand, but more importantly, get the left hand used to squaring the club face. This controls, this adds power. You don't want this to have control and power. No, no, no. So, step 1, and I did not come up with this, okay? I'm not going to take credit for somebody else's good work. This comes from Marcus at GRF Golf. Shout out to Marcus, brilliant channel. Go check him out. I've been meaning to go have a lesson with him, but I can't find a couple of days off when I'm in the UK to do it. But I promise I will get there. The guy is a genius. So, his drill. Let me get my radar out of the way, lest I bust it, because I used to have the blue one, and sure enough, I smacked it with my driver. You want to, and I'm hoping you can see this, you want to make swings, first of all, left hand, so lead arm only, and your goal is to dig the toe into the turf before the ball. Okay, so imagine if I swung this. Let's see if I can get back a bit here. Imagine if I swung this and the toe was going to hit the ball. You see, the ball was here. If this is my ball, the only way I can get that toe to hit the ball, like that, is by turning this wrist or the knuckles of this left hand all the way down. So, you want to practice in some turf, in some grass, getting that toe to stick, almost wedge itself into the ground. And you want to do a whole bunch of those, okay? You're going to get used to this hand turning over. That is step 1. Step 2 is with a ball. So yes, we've progressed to a ball already. So with that same feel, we're going to hold on very lightly with our trail hand. And with that same feel, we're going to try and hit this ball with the toe of the club. You are never going to hit the toe. You might. you will probably get to a situation where the ball goes really low left, and that is what we want. You want to be able to hit a ball at 45 degrees left, almost along the ground with a 6-iron. So you are de-lofting that club so much, and you are shutting that face down like a crazy person. Now, you might be saying at this point, why do I want to develop that shot? And I'll tell you why. Because if you are a flipper and you've been doing this, I can almost guarantee that you've got poor lower body movement, because your brain knows that this club is coming in like this, closing too soon and to get a point left, and so it doesn't want to turn left. Your lower body does not want to get out of the way. So I guarantee most of you video yourself, if you're a flipper, you'll be very static in your lower body, and you probably won't compress the ball. You probably don't take very big divots. If you do take divots, they'll be way in front of the ball, dead fat. So that is why you want to do this drill. You want to develop this sense of the ball going low left, because your brain, being the fantastic device that it is once that becomes your major release pattern, your brain will figure out, now, if I want, my intent is for this ball to go straight, your body, your lower body, will start opening up. It will start opening up. So that is step 3. Step 3 is to, once you get the ball to go 45 degrees left along the ground, is to then see how, by doing the same thing, so same release, figure out how much the lower body has to turn out of the way so that that club goes straight down the line. Essentially what you're doing is you're closing this face, and then your body goes, this is going to go dead left. Therefore, I've got to have forward shaft lean. My hands have to be ahead of the ball. And to get my hands ahead of the ball, I have to get my lower body out of the way. So here we go. You've started this release pattern. Your brain goes, oh, club face super, 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 super shut. If I don't do anything with my lower body, boop, ball goes super low left. Same thing again. After a while, your brain figures out that this club is shutting. I must clear the body, get the hands ahead to make the club go straight. I'll take a video at the end of this, looking down at the ball to better demonstrate. But from face on, so this is my release pattern. If I did nothing with the lower body, ball goes super low left. So the brain figures out that I have to get this out the way, and I have to get my hands super forward to keep that face square. Those are the 3 steps, my friend. You're gonna have to go through some pain with this. If you want to change, and that's what I've been trying to do in the last year, you're gonna have to go through some pain. You probably notice that from face on, you probably notice that you get rid of a lot of the angles here if you're a flipper. And from down the line, you might notice that the club tips out like this, okay? That is because you're releasing with this hand. Once you start twisting or bowing this left wrist, you'll notice that the club shallows or stays on its plane, and from face on, this angle is retained. And you is going to spank it much further. Right, that was a very quick one. Let me demonstrate a low left for you. So step 1, I've been doing this, getting that toe. It's almost impossible to get that toe. And then step 2 is, woo, I'm going to kill somebody. That went in the corner over there. And step 3 is start that and the body gets out the way. Ball starts straight. Okay, so let's film over the ball. There's my ball, there's my wrist. If I wanted to swing back and put the toe of the club into the ball, look at where my wrist would be. Look, all my fingernails are showing, okay? When you are a scooper or a flipper, you look like this. You have a cup in that left wrist, and look at the face. It's pointing left, and you probably thin the ball. So, you want to ingrain this motion. So that's step one. And you're just going to do that by trying to put that toe into the ground, left or lead arm only. The next drill is we're hitting them, right? So we're doing this, but the lower body isn't doing much. And look how the club comes into the ball, right? Super delofted, super left, ball is going over there. But look at my legs, they haven't done anything. My hips haven't done anything either. So finally, step three is the brain figures that out and it does this release and it comes into the ball. And look where that face is, it's pointing straight down the line. Look how much sharpling that is. Look how bowed that left wrist is. And look how open those hips are. Maybe let's take a quick video face on as well. Face on. So we're going to make practice swings. Step one, trying to get this toe to hit the ball. Just like playing pool. Trying to do that. Look at my hand. Look at my lead hand. Look where it is. Look what nothing's happened here. Step two is I'm trying to hit balls low left. That is my intention. Okay? Look at where my hand is and everything. Bit of sharpling, but the hips haven't done much, right? Step three would be this. Watch this. You see that? Soon as I get my hands a bit more forward and clear the hips, it straightens out the face. So step three is hitting balls with this release. I have to get my hips out of the way and my hands super forward to keep that face pointing down the target line. Simples! Let's give you a quick slow-mo for you to dissect.